Hello, everyone. Let me ask you something. Have you ever found yourself stuck in a conversation, knowing exactly what you want to say in your head, but the words just won't come out? You've studied English for years, maybe even past exams. You've memorized vocabulary lists, learned grammar rules, and watched hours of YouTube videos. But when it's time to speak, your mind goes blank. Or worse, you freeze. If that sounds like you, you're not alone. And you're definitely not broken. The real reason you're not fluent yet isn't because you're not smart enough. It's not because you haven't studied hard enough. And it's certainly not because you're too old, too shy, or just bad at languages. That's a lie we've all been sold. What if I told you, the problem isn't your English, it's your approach to becoming fluent? Right now, most learners are stuck in a loop. Study, forget, repeat. They spend months or even years focusing on grammar, obsessing over rules, trying to sound perfect before they've ever practiced a full conversation. But real fluency? It's not about perfection. It's about connection. It's about getting your message across with clarity, confidence, and flow, even if you make a few mistakes along the way. Because real fluency isn't just knowledge, it's action. It's speaking without fear. It's thinking in English, not translating from your native language. And most importantly, it's doing it consistently, even when it feels uncomfortable. Today, in just 30 minutes, I'm going to give you something most courses and apps don't: a roadmap. One that will help you break through fear and hesitation, build speaking habits that actually improve your fluency, and shift your identity from a learner to a speaker. Here's exactly what we'll cover: why most people never become fluent no matter how much they study, the 5 biggest myths that are secretly holding you back, what the mindset of a truly fluent speaker looks like, and how to develop it, the daily habits that turn passive learners into confident communicators, practice methods that don't waste your time and actually work, how to stop translating in your head and start thinking in English, and finally, a 30-day fluency challenge you can start today to create real change. But before we get into it, let's talk about something important. If fluency was just about knowing more words, everyone with a dictionary would be fluent. But that's not how it works. Most intermediate learners already have the vocabulary to hold full conversations. What they don't have is flow, the ability to recall and express what they know automatically, without pausing every 2 seconds. That's the true skill we're going to build today. And here's a truth you might not hear often enough. You don't have to live in an English-speaking country to become fluent. You don't need native speakers around you 24/7. You need smart strategies, daily practice, and a mindset that keeps going, even when it's hard. So take a deep breath. Let go of perfection. This is your time to transform the way you speak forever. Because by the end of this video, you won't just understand English better, you'll know how to speak it freely and own it like it's yours. Let's begin. The 5 big myths of fluency. If you've ever felt stuck in your journey to fluency, it might not be your effort that's the problem. It might be what you believe about how fluency works. There are so many myths floating around in the language learning world that sound logical, but quietly sabotage your progress. Let's break down the 5 biggest myths that keep learners stuck, and what to believe instead. Myth number 1, I need to master grammar before I can speak fluently. This one traps so many learners. Yes, grammar is important, but fluency doesn't come from perfectly constructed sentences. It comes from communication. Think about how native speakers talk. We say things like, "she don't know," or "I ain't got time." Technically incorrect, but perfectly understandable. If you wait until your grammar is perfect, you'll never open your mouth. Fluency is built through speaking, even if it's messy at first. You'll learn the grammar rules better by using them in real conversation, not by memorizing them in isolation. Myth number 2. I need a bigger vocabulary to become fluent. Of course, words matter, but vocabulary alone doesn't equal fluency. Here's a secret. Most daily English conversations use just the top 2,000 most common words. The key isn't knowing 10,000 words. It's knowing how to use the ones you already have. It's better to deeply master 500 words you use every day than to vaguely remember 5,000 words you never use. Repetition creates fluency. Focus on words that are useful in your real life, your work, your hobbies, your everyday needs. Practice those words again and again until they flow without thinking. Myth number 3. I shouldn't make mistakes when I speak. This one might be the most dangerous myth of all. Mistakes are not the enemy. They are the path. Every fluent speaker made thousands of mistakes on the way. Children make grammar mistakes all the time while learning their native language, and no one tells them to stop speaking. In fact, that's how they learn. The same applies to you. When you make a mistake, that's your brain creating new neural connections. It means you're stretching, growing. You cannot improve if you're always playing it safe. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for progress. Speak even if you're unsure. Learn from the experience. Remember, confidence doesn't come after you become fluent. It comes from practicing fluency, mistakes and all. Myth number 4. I have to speak like a native to be fluent. Let me say this loud and clear. You do not need to sound like a native speaker to be fluent. Fluency is about communicating ideas smoothly, not imitating someone else's accent or idioms. Yes, pronunciation matters if it affects clarity, but having an accent? That's not a weakness. It's a sign that you're bilingual, even multilingual. That's something to be proud of. In fact, many fluent speakers are non-natives. Their English may sound different, but their message is powerful. Fluency is your ability to connect, to express, to understand, not to erase your identity. So stop trying to speak like someone else. Speak like your best self, clearly, confidently, and with your unique voice. Myth number 5. There's one perfect method that works for everyone. Everyone's looking for the secret formula, the one perfect course, the best app. But fluency doesn't come from what you use. It comes from how consistently you use it. Some people thrive with immersion. Others love shadowing. Some prefer structured lessons. Others learn best through real conversations. There's no one-size-fits-all. The truth is, any method can work if you stay consistent. The danger comes when you keep switching methods, chasing the next shiny thing without sticking with one long enough to see results. So find what works for you. Track your progress. Make it a habit. Don't compare your learning path to others. This is your journey, and it's okay if it looks different. Mindset of a fluent speaker. Let me ask you something most teachers never bring up. How do you see yourself, as a student of English or as a speaker of English? This single question can change everything. Because fluency isn't just about what you know. It's about what you believe about yourself. The people who become fluent the fastest are not always the most talented. They're not the ones with the most free time. They're not even the ones who live in English-speaking countries. They're the ones who shift their identity. They go from thinking, I'm learning English, to I speak English. It's a small difference in words, but a huge difference in mindset. Fluency isn't a skill you learn after you feel confident. It's a skill you learn by showing up again and again, even when you don't feel ready. And that takes mindset. So let's dive into 3 core mindset shifts that fluent speakers have and how to develop them starting today. Mindset shift. Number 1. You don't wait to be fluent to start speaking. You speak to become fluent. Most people wait. They wait until they know more words, until they've mastered grammar, until they sound perfect. But the truth is, fluency is built through action. You get fluent by speaking, even if your sentences are broken or your accent is strong. You don't need permission, you just need consistency. Fluent speakers understand that practice creates progress, not the other way around. They embrace mistakes as stepping stones, not stop signs. Every time you speak, your brain builds faster connections, the nerves calm down, your mouth becomes familiar with the sounds. This is fluency forming in real time. Mindset shift. Number 2. Mistakes are proof of progress, not failure. This can't be said enough. If you're not making mistakes, you're not trying hard enough. Mistakes are where the learning happens. Every error is a lesson. Every awkward moment is your brain evolving. Think about kids. When they learn to walk, they fall constantly. But they don't quit. They get up, stumble again, laugh, and try one more time. That's how they learn to move with confidence. The same applies to language. If you're afraid to sound wrong, you'll never sound right. The key is to speak without fear, knowing that every misstep is training your brain and your mouth to work together faster and smoother. Fluent speakers aren't perfect. They just don't let fear stop them. They trust the process and keep showing up. Mindset shift. Number 3. You control your fluency more than you think. Too many learners believe fluency is something that just happens after years of exposure, but in reality, it's something you create. It's built by design, not by accident. Yes, environment matters. Yes, having people to talk to helps. But what matters most is how you use what you already have. If you decide to speak out loud every day, even alone, you're creating fluency. If you think in English while walking, cooking, or commuting, you're creating fluency. If you listen, actively repeat phrases, and practice conversation loops, you're creating fluency. It's not about waiting for the perfect opportunity. It's about making micro decisions every single day that move you forward. Let's pause and talk about something real for a moment. Maybe you've been learning English for years. Maybe you've started and stopped so many times you've lost count. Maybe you feel like everyone else is getting better, and you're stuck. But here's the truth. You're not behind. You're just one mindset shift away from moving forward again. Fluency doesn't come from magic. It comes from belief. Belief that even when it's hard, even when it's awkward, even when it's slow, you're still moving. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be persistent. So here's a mindset exercise that fluent speakers use all the time. Every day, before you speak English, whether it's to a person, a mirror, or a microphone, say this out loud. I am a fluent English speaker. I'm not waiting to become one. I'm already becoming one right now. Repeat it until it feels real. Because when you change the way you talk to yourself, you change the way you show up in the world. And that's what fluency is. Showing up in English. Again and again. Even when it's messy. Even when it's imperfect. Especially then. You're not just learning a language. You're building a new version of yourself. A version that expresses thoughts freely, connects confidently, and speaks with clarity. That's not just grammar and vocabulary. That's mindset. And now that you've got the mindset of a fluent speaker, it's time to turn that into a daily system, something you can use every single day to keep leveling up. That's exactly what we're diving into next, the fluency habits that will build your skills, your confidence, and your momentum. Let's keep going. Daily fluency habits. Fluency isn't something you cram for the night before an exam. It's something you build, brick by brick, through daily action. But here's the problem. Most learners don't have a system. They study randomly, speak occasionally, and hope for the best. That ends today. In this section, we're going to create a daily fluency routine that works in the real world, no matter how busy you are, where you live, or what level you're at right now. You don't need 3 hours a day or access to native speakers. What you need is structure, intention, and small, consistent habits that compound over time. Let's break it down into the 4 essential pillars: speaking, listening, thinking, and reflecting. Speak from day 1, even if you're not ready. Biggest mistake learners make is waiting. They wait until they feel more fluent to start speaking. But speaking is not the result of fluency. It's the path to fluency. You don't need a language partner to start speaking. You can begin with self-talk. Narrate your actions while doing them. I'm brushing my teeth. Now I'm getting my keys. I'm going to the store. Mirror speaking. Have fake conversations with yourself. Ask and answer questions like, how was your day? What did you eat for breakfast? What would you do with $1 million? Shadowing. Repeat after a native speaker from a YouTube video or podcast. Try to copy their rhythm, tone, and flow. It trains your mouth and ears at the same time. Start with 5 minutes a day. Set a timer. No judgment. Just talk. Over time, increase it to 10, then 15 minutes. The goal is flow, not perfection. Listen intentionally. Not just for fun. Listening to music or Netflix is great, but if you want results, you need active listening. That means picking audio slightly above your level, so you stretch. Using subtitles at first, then turning them off. Repeating difficult phrases out loud. Writing down new vocabulary you hear, not just read. The rule of thumb? 1 hour of input. 20 minutes of speaking. Don't let your brain get lazy. Listen, pause, repeat, speak. Try switching from passive to active with podcasts like The English We Speak or BBC Learning English. YouTube channels that explain expressions or interview real people. Audiobooks where you can follow the transcript. And mimic the speaker active. Listening builds comprehension speed, improves pronunciation, and feeds your internal grammar machine. Think in English, train your brain for speed. The fastest way to kill fluency is by translating everything in your head. You think in your native language, try to convert it into English and freeze mid-sentence. The solution? Think in English even when you're not speaking. Start with objects. Look around and name what you see. Lamp, charger, coffee mug, window. Then describe, the mug is half full. The charger is on the floor. Then add thoughts. I need to leave soon. Did I forget my keys? You can also try thought journaling, writing or voice noting your thoughts in English every morning or night. Just say what's on your mind like you're texting a friend. Don't worry about grammar. Worry about clarity. Your brain becomes fluent in what it practices. If you practice translating, it'll always translate. If you practice thinking directly in English, fluency becomes natural. Reflect and adjust. Learn from every step. Fluency is not just about doing more. It's about doing what works and dropping what doesn't. At the end of each week, ask yourself, what helped me speak more smoothly this week? What made me freeze or hesitate? What new words or expressions did I use more than once? What mistakes did I notice? And what did I learn from them? Create a simple log or journal where you track your fluency journey. It doesn't need to be fancy. A few lines per day is enough. This habit of reflection gives you clarity, confidence, and control. You stop feeling like a lost learner and start acting like a proactive speaker. Sample 20-minute daily fluency routine. Even if you're busy, you can fit fluency into your day. Here's a practical routine. 5 min speaking, self-talk or mirror practice. 5-min listening, active podcast segment. 5-min shadowing, repeat after native speaker. 5-min journaling or review, write or speak about your day. That's 20 minutes. No excuses, no waiting. Want to level up? Add 5 more minutes of thinking in English during daily activities, like walking, eating, or showering. Make fluency a lifestyle, not a goal. The truth is, fluency isn't an exam to pass. It's a lifestyle. It's the way you think, speak, listen, and show up in English every single day. You don't need a perfect accent. You don't need a 2-hour study block. You just need the decision to speak today and tomorrow, and again the day after that. Your fluency is not in the future. It's in what you say today. So grab your phone, open your notes app, hit record, talk to yourself, talk about your goals, talk about the weather. Just talk, because every word you speak, even if it's slow, awkward, or unsure, is a brick in the foundation of your fluency. And once you start stacking those bricks every day, fluency becomes inevitable. Practice that actually works. You've probably heard it 100 times. Practice makes perfect. But here's the truth most people never say out loud. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. If you're practicing the wrong way, you're reinforcing bad habits. But if you practice with the right focus, even 15 minutes a day can transform how you speak. In this section, you're going to learn how to practice English in a way that actually improves your fluency. Not just feels productive, actually is productive. Let's break it down into the 3 big shifts fluent speakers make in their practice routines. Don't just study English. Use it. Most learners spend 90% of their time doing passive activities, watching videos, reading articles, studying grammar, and only 10% actually using English in real situations. But fluency comes from output, not just input. Fluent speakers flip the ratio. They turn every moment into a chance to practice speaking, not just understanding. That's where the magic happens. Here's how you can start using English more actively. When you learn a new word, use it in 3 different sentences out loud. After watching a video, summarize it aloud in your own words. When you finish reading an article, pretend you're explaining it to a friend. Language is not something you collect. It's something you perform. Practice like you're going to be on stage. Use the input-output loop. Here's a game-changing method fluent learners use. Input, imitate, output. Let's say you watch a 2-minute clip of a native speaker talking about their morning routine. Here's what you do. Input. Listen actively. Focus on pronunciation and rhythm. Imitate. Pause and repeat line by line. Match their speed and tone. Output. Retell their routine in your own words. But don't script it. Speak freely. This loop does 3 things. It trains your ear. It improves your speaking rhythm. It forces you to think and speak in real time. It's like having a conversation, even when you're alone. This method is 10x more powerful than passive listening. Why? Because it engages every part of your language brain at once. Listening, speaking, thinking, and reacting. Join a speaking community, the fastest way to improve fluency. Speak with real humans, regularly, and no, you don't need native speakers. What you need is speaking reps. You need a community where it's safe to practice, make mistakes, and get better. Look for language exchange platforms like Tandem or HelloTalk, online speaking clubs on Zoom or Discord, accountability groups with other learners who meet weekly to practice. Speaking regularly forces you to adapt, to think fast, to clarify your ideas. It also builds emotional confidence, the kind that no textbook can give you. If you don't have a group yet, start your own. Invite 2 or 3 friends and create a weekly Fluency Friday. Just 30 minutes. Everyone takes turns answering simple prompts like, what was the best part of your week? What's something you learned recently? What would you do if you won the lottery? No pressure, just real talk. That's how fluency is born. Practice with real-life scenarios. Don't wait until you're in a real situation to practice it. Prepare in advance. Fluent speakers practice situational English. They rehearse conversations they know they'll face. You can do this too. Pick a situation. Ordering at a restaurant. Making small talk at work. Asking for help in a store. Introducing yourself to a new friend. Now, act it out. Alone or with a partner. Use a timer. Give yourself 1 minute to speak. Naturally. Then reflect. Did I hesitate? Was I clear? Could I simplify what I said? The more you simulate real life, the smoother your real conversations will be. Record yourself speaking. This might feel awkward at first, but it's one of the most powerful practice tools available. Fluent speakers use it all the time. Why? Because when you record yourself, you hear yourself like others do. Try this. Pick a simple topic. What's your morning routine? Record 1 to 2 minutes of you talking. Listen back. Note what sounded clear and what didn't. Then, record it again. Try to improve just one thing. This is the secret to fluency. Micro-improvement. Not perfection, but refinement. Over time, these small adjustments create massive growth. Gamify your practice. Want to stay consistent? Turn your practice into a game. Create a 30-day speaking challenge with daily prompts. Use a habit tracker to mark your speaking minutes each day. Reward yourself when you hit milestones. 7 days straight, 100 minutes total, etc. Fluent speakers don't just rely on motivation, they build systems. Make it fun. Make it visible. Make it part of your identity. You're not just studying English. You're a daily speaker of English. The golden rule. SPE. Real-life hacks to think in English fluency isn't just about what comes out of your mouth. It's also about what happens inside your mind. If you've ever frozen mid-sentence because you were translating from your native language to English, you're not alone. That's the biggest block for most learners. You hear a question, you translate it into your language, then you think of your answer, then you translate it back. It's exhausting. But fluent speakers, they don't translate. They think in English, and you can too. In this section, I'll show you 5 real-life hacks to start thinking in English every single day, without needing more time, textbooks, or teachers. Describe the world around you. Your brain is constantly talking. Let it talk in English. Wherever you are, describe what you see, feel, and do. At the bus stop, it's windy today. That guy looks tired. My phone is at 10%. While cooking, I'm slicing the onion. I need more salt. The pan is too hot. Start simple, just 1 sentence at a time. Don't worry about sounding clever. Focus on fluency. This habit rewires your internal voice. You stop thinking, how do I say this in English? And start just saying it. 2. Use language switch triggers. Here's a clever hack. Associate certain routines with English only. Examples. Every time you check the time, say the time in English. When you get a text, think your reply in English. When you see a commercial, narrate what it's about in English. These mini triggers create language zones in your brain. You don't need a classroom. You need repetition and context. Your brain learns faster when patterns are predictable. Make English part of your life, not just your study time. Journal your thoughts. In voice or text, grab a notebook or use your phone's voice recorder. Every morning or evening, speak or write your thoughts in English. Start with, what did I do today? How do I feel right now? What am I thinking about? It's okay if it's messy. It's okay if you pause. What matters is speaking your thoughts out loud in English. This builds fluency at the thinking level, not just memorization. It connects your emotions, memories, and experiences to English vocabulary. That's how fluency becomes personal. Use flashbacks and imaginary conversations. Think back to a conversation you had today, but replay it in English. Imagine how you'd have said it. What words would you use? What expression fits better? Or invent new conversations. If I met my favorite celebrity, what would I say? If I had to complain about something in a hotel, how would I say it politely? How would I explain my job to a stranger at a party? These games force your brain to activate vocabulary and grammar naturally in a storytelling format. And they're fun. Eliminate mental translation. With word substitution, sometimes we struggle to speak because we're looking for one perfect word, and we can't find it. Here's the trick. Don't stop. Replace it. Instead of freezing on a word you don't know, use a simpler word or phrase. What's the word for the thing you sleep on? Ah, bed. I don't know the word for that machine, but it's used to print paper. Fluent speakers do this all the time. They paraphrase, simplify, and keep going. That's fluency. Not knowing everything, but flowing anyway. The shift from translating to thinking in English doesn't happen overnight. But with these small daily habits, you'll start to notice something amazing. Your responses become faster. Your thoughts feel smoother. Your words come without effort, because you're not just learning English anymore. You're living in English. Now, let's put it all together. In the next section, I'll give you a 30-day fluency challenge, a simple step-by-step plan you can follow starting today to build unstoppable speaking momentum. Ready for it? Let's go. The 30-day fluency challenge. You've learned the truth about fluency. You've seen what mindset it takes. You've got daily habits, real practice techniques, and hacks to think in English. Now it's time to put it all into motion. Welcome to your 30-day fluency challenge, a simple plan designed to help you build momentum, build confidence, and start speaking more than ever before. This isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up every single day and creating a routine that works for your real life. Here's how it works. Every day for 30 days, do these 4 things. Speak for 5 to 10 minutes. Talk to yourself, use a mirror, or speak with a partner. Choose one topic each day. I'll give you examples in a moment. Don't script. Just speak. Listen to 10 minutes of English. Choose something just slightly above your level. Pause, rewind, shadow it out loud. Focus on rhythm and flow. Think in English at least once a day. Narrate your actions. Reflect on your day. Ask yourself a question mentally and answer in English. This rewires your thoughts. Reflect for 2 to 3 minutes. What did you learn today? What felt easy? What was hard? Write or record a short journal entry in English. Example, daily prompts. Day 1, introduce yourself. Day 2, talk about your childhood. Day 3, describe your daily routine. Day 4, explain your favorite meal. Day 5, share a funny memory. Day 6, talk about your dream vacation. Day 7, reflect on your progress so far. Then keep rotating similar themes. The goal is progress, not perfection. Miss a day? No problem. Get back on track. This is about building identity. You are not just learning English. You are a daily English speaker. And 30 days from now, you won't just be thinking differently, you'll be speaking differently. Now let's wrap it all up and give you one final boost of confidence in the last section. You've made it to the end, and if you're still here, it means something big. You're serious about becoming fluent. Over the past 30 minutes, you've learned the truth about fluency, that it's not about memorizing more, but about speaking more. That mindset matters just as much as methods. That small daily actions beat giant plans every time. You've learned how to break free from myths, how to think in English, how to speak confidently even without perfection. And most importantly, you now have a system, a roadmap, a way forward. So, here's your challenge starting today. Speak every day, even if it's just 1 minute. Even if it's just to yourself. Speak anyway, because the real secret of fluency isn't magic. It's momentum, and you've already started building it, right? Now, you don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You don't need permission to be a speaker. You already are one. If this video helped you, make sure to like it, share it, and subscribe for more. Your fluency journey is just beginning, and I'll be right here to guide you. Let's go get fluent.